Hey everybody, how's it going? How's the sound? How are we looking and sounding? Give me a thumbs up or something. Tell me if we're looking and sounding okay. And somehow I still got some music going here. Hold on. Why do I still have music going? Do you guys still hear music? You guys hearing music? I'm hearing music here for some reason. Why am I hearing music? Hello, how's it going? Any music playing? For some reason I was hearing some music in the background. Good sound? All right, we're good. How's everybody doing today? It's a Saturday, right? Yeah, it's Saturday. Let's see who's here. We've got Webby's here, Oren's here, Cervici, I'm going to pronounce this, Cervici Decacat, U.S. Infantry, Hua, how you doing? Fire and Water Cooking, Danny, CLE's here, how you doing? Marcia, hi Marcia, how you doing? Big Cano Barbecue Show, Fantasy Pimp, Carolina Country Cooking, how you doing? Who else we got here? Fire and Water, I don't think I said you yet. Fire and Water, how you doing? We've got Danny, I think I said Danny. Great. So is the music's gone? For some reason I heard music for a while. I have no idea why. So how's everybody doing today? Anybody throwing anything on the grill or the smoker today? Someone earlier said something on I think it was on my Facebook page on a message. They were throwing a pork butt on this morning. So they had an all-day affair ahead of them. Yeah. Usually, I don't know if you noticed, usually by this time I have a video out on Saturdays, but had a little bit of an editing problem last night, so it's going to be going up after the live stream today, probably about 1 or 2 o'clock. It's a kebab video. But there's no love scene in the middle of it like my tri-tip video, so sorry. If you saw my tri-tip video from yesterday, you'll know what I'm talking about. So let's see, what's everybody up to today? And again, if you're new here, if you're first time in the live stream, you know, tell me where you're from. Some of the people I know where you're from, but if you're new here, just kind of tell me what area of the country, the world you're from, what's going. Let's see. Who's thinking tri-tip? Christopher, you're thinking tri-tip. Fire and Water Cooking. Cooking chicken and ribs, sous vide, and barbecue. I've never done a sous vide. I know people who have, and it's really awesome. And I'm tempted to get a sous vide cooker to try that. Really tempted. Let's see. Chris Simel, how you doing? You discovered your channel and you have helped a lot. Got a pork butt on. Can't wait for it to be done. Give it time. I know you can't wait for it to get done. Give it time though. It'll be good. Cooking with Webby. Going to a friend. He's doing a brisket. You'll be doing brisket Monday. So it's a brisket weekend. Man, that's a lot of brisket. I could handle that, but it's a lot of brisket. Yeah. Let's see what's going on here. We've got no excuses. It's 2 here already. From Marcia. Let's see. Chris, you're from Pennsylvania. Nice to have you here. Awesome. Paul Robinson, Santa Barbara, just up the coast from me. I'm in Orange County. Been up to Santa Barbara many times, stayed there many times. We often will go up to Santa Ynez Wine Country, spend some time up there near Solvang and Ballard. Stayed at the Ballard Inn many times. Fire and Water, lots of sous vide and barbecue combos. Yeah, I know someone who did a sous vide leg of lamb, and I think then they grilled it at the end to finish, give it some color. It was awesome, really good. Christopher, how you doing? Naples, Florida. Yeah, checking out I've checked out your Instagram, man. You've got lots of stuff going on there with good barbecue pics, man. Just awesome stuff. Yeah. Yeah, so today, let's see, Fantasy Pimp, Kansas. Faceless Joke. I live in Asheville, North Carolina. You're going to a local wrestling event. It's going to be awesome. You know, we used to have like wrestling events here when I was a kid in Southern California at a place called the Olympic Auditorium with sort of the, you know, the WWE type stuff at that time, more local. That was fun stuff, man. Let me tell you. Raspberry Rock. Hey, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. We'll just pass that back on your live stream. I heard your wife wants to send you to Raspberry Rock. Yes, Russell, my wife wants me to come visit you up in Canada and see your cabin and stuff. I'm down for that if the timing and everything works out. I am. Big Cano Barbecue Show. I'm throwing on some chicken thighs, hamburgers, Earl Campbell, and sausage on the stick on the grill for the family. That That sounds amazing. Can you adopt me? I'm doing some stuff later on the grill today for a video, but that sounds really good. I'd like that. Stephanie Belland, how you doing? A little village in Quebec, Canada, and you will eat dry wraps. Did you see my video where I charred them, you know, the way it was when I was a kid? Is that what you're talking about? Joe Garza, how you doing, Joe? What's up, Ryan? How you doing, buddy? I thought of you yesterday when I was at the meat market buying some dinosaur ribs. Man, I need dinosaur ribs. Really hard to find them in my area that size. I mean, I can get some. They're just not those beautiful big ones that I've seen other people do. I can source them, but, you know, they're kind of pricey. Let's see. Troy Z, how you doing, Troy? Hi, Northern California, grilled chicken wings and thighs with a mustard barbecue sauce while your ox are smoking. Smoking oxtail? Because I did some oxtail a few weeks ago with some beef short ribs. Man, those oxtails were good. Awesome. Let's see. The faceless joke. Hell yes. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, but okay. Oren, your wife got a good brisket flat. Never done one. Need more experience. Nothing wrong with a brisket flat. You just don't have the point attached to it. Cooks just like a brisket should. You know, give it the time. Take it to the temperature you should and the temperature you want. Pick your method. You know, you're going to do it naked the whole time. Wrap it. Juice it. You know, do what's going to work best for you, but nothing wrong with a brisket flat. In fact, I've done brisket flats before in the electric smoker because full packers are hard to fit in there. So just a regular flat is perfect size in there. Lee Hadley, how are you doing? Greetings from Atlanta. Starting up an 8-pound rib roast on the Joe. Should be an awesome dinner. Nice. I did a rib roast, I think, 3 or 4 months ago. Really good. Yeah, I love rib roasts. I really do. Raspberry Rock, off-grid cabin. September is the best time to be here, Rye. Beautiful scenery, nice temps, no bugs. Yeah, I mean, I love your videos from the fall time when you're transitioning into that time before winter. Just beautiful stuff. If any of you guys out there, Raspberry Rock, off-grid cabin is my friend Russell. He's got a great channel. You can click on the little 3 dots next to his message. Go to his channel, give him a sub, check him out. Beautiful stuff up there. He has a true off-grid cabin. Like 3 clicks from the nearest road, solar power, everything he's building up there. It's not totally finished yet, but awesome. Right on a pond. It's the most beautiful scenery. And I convinced him to haul a Weber kettle up there on his ATV. So he's cooking up there too. Danny Seeley, St. Louis style pork spare ribs tonight. Awesome. Oh, hey, I just wanted to mention, a couple people have sent me photos on my Facebook page for Cooking with Rye. And you can find the link to that in the description of any of my videos. If you want to send me any pictures of your cooks that you're doing, especially if it's something that I've done and you're making it, like someone did that bacon wrap meatloaf and sent me some photos, go ahead and message them to me on Facebook. And I'll show them on a live stream next week or the week after. Just make sure you put in the message. Just make sure that you put in the message with the photo that it's okay for me to use it on YouTube. Can't use it without your permission. So if you want to do that, go for it. I'd love to show some photos because we're getting some good ones. Let's see. So Danny's doing St. Louis pork ribs. Nice. Fire and water cooking. Greg from Ballistic Barbecue does sous vide barbecue also. Yeah, I've seen Greg's stuff. He does such good stuff, man. Really does. He's about, 2 hours south of me in San Diego. I think I could smell his stuff sometimes. Man, it's good. Yeah. Joe Garza, going to smoke some moleja sweetbreads here in a bit. I've never done, actually, I don't even, have I had sweetbreads? No, I don't think I have. I didn't know you could smoke that. That's interesting. Interesting. Fire and water cooking at Lee Hadley. You have a Big Joe also. Yeah. Is that the Kamado Joe, the big one? That's a nice cooker. Packy Smith, hooly hooly ribs. What are hooly hooly ribs? Give me another message in there in the chat. Tell me what that is. It sounds interesting. The faceless joke. You said you went to wrestling shows when you were kids, so I said, oh, hell yeah, yeah. What was your favorite? What is my favorite smoker to use? Oddly enough, it's the Weber kettle. I love my offset, my Oklahoma Joe's Highland, but the Weber kettle is so versatile, and you can get amazing smoke rings. Now, it's limited, the 22-inch model, for doing large things like big briskets, but you can really get great results with it. Such contained area, a lot of smoke holds in there. That is my favorite cooker to smoke on. The Oklahoma Joe's Highland or another offset type, that second favorite. But I just love that kettle. It's so versatile. Let's see. Brian Vstrom. Hey, how are you doing, Brian? Is this your first time here? I don't recognize your name. Vancouver, BC. I love Vancouver. Been there a few times. I'm not a city guy, but I really like Vancouver. Smoking some jerky. Thanks for all your videos and humor. First brisket done. All-nighter. Marriage now more tender than the brisket was. Yeah, I don't know if you saw. I did an all-night brisket. That was my first brisket video on my channel last year. That was fun, man. A lot of wind, but it was fun. Oren, please don't make me get my electric smoker out for a clean cook. My brisket flat will be on 18.5 WSN. Nothing with that. It'll go fine on there. Yeah, that flat will be great on the WSM. Fire and water cooking. Yes. Okay. That's the big Kamado Joe. There's a two. Is it two sizes on the Kamado Joes, I think? I mean, the big Joe's a really nice size. Eric Moreno, hey, Rye, greetings from South Texas. Hi, Eric, how you doing? I've seen your comments and stuff in the videos and appreciate it. Deirdre Hill, hey, Deirdre. Thanks for that delicious tri-tip yesterday. You're our supplier. Thanks for sharing. Yes, Deirdre Hill is my sister-in-law. We pass food back and forth. They live about a mile away, so they get to taste a lot of the stuff that I cook, which I'm happy to be able to do. Let's see, Packy Smith, Hawaiian ribs usually used on chicken. Huli chicken. Nice. Never heard of that. I'm going to have to look that up. Big Cano Barbecue Show. Later, Rye, just stop by to say hi. Love the show. Cheers. Thank you. Have a great day. I'm glad you stopped by. Fantasy Pimp 1. Smoking 5 pounds of chicken wings, drums, and flats mix. Half sesame Asian and half hot wing sauce. That's a good mix of stuff. So you're doing chicken wings, drums, and flats. Nice. Cooking with Webby. I love Vancouver, too. Very nice. Yeah. It's a beautiful city. I was there. It's been about 9 or 10 years since I was there last, but I just loved it. Brian Vstrom, first timer. Yes, well, I'm glad you could stop by. Thanks for coming. It's always nice to hear people bring up stuff in the chat here. Don, is it Romy? If I'm mispronouncing it, let me know. I love your videos. Keep up the good work, buddy. Greetings from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Hey, thanks. I'm not from Minnesota. My entire family on my parents' side is all from Minnesota, so kind of neighbors. I was born in California, but everybody else in my family on that side was Minnesota born. Yeah. Eric Moreno, thumbs up. Yeah, thanks for all the comments in the videos. Appreciate it. Donnie Hughes, 1 more hour to go, some 321 ribs. Nice. You doing spares or St. Louis cut or baby backs? Fire and water cooking, 3 sizes on the Kamado Joe. Junior, classic, large, or big Joe, extra large. Okay, so there's 3. Yeah, a ceramic cooker is kind of on my want list. It's down the ways a bit. A couple things I want first, as I've said it many times. I want to get the 26-inch Weber kettle next. A little more real estate on that. I want to upgrade to a little bit bigger offset. And I've been so tempted seeing videos of people using pellet smokers that I think I'm going to have to take the jump and, yeah, get a pellet smoker eventually, hopefully in the next year or 2. They look really good stuff people are doing. Dan Reeves, hi, Rye. Thanks for all the videos. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I love doing these videos. They're so fun. I'm trying to keep up with the chat here. It's moving fast, so if I miss you, don't think I'm skipping you. Let's see. Marcia Probst, not fair. If you're going to share with everybody. You learned that in school. They're a mile away. You know, it's family. They get to come by and have a taste. My mother-in-law is close, too. She gets to have some stuff, so I'm happy to do it. I love cooking for people. Lee Hadley, sent you a pic of the pig on the Joe I spoke of last week. You did? Okay, great. If you did it on my Facebook page, make sure you said in a message that I can use it, and I will try and show it on the next live stream. That's awesome. I love seeing pictures of what people are doing. Casey Pitticow. Hey, Casey, how are you doing? New to the game, what's the easiest thing to smoke? Want to start off slow. Either tri-tip if you can get it. Doesn't take long. Or some ribs. If you can get some baby backs or some St. Louis cut, those are the easiest to do depending on what cooker you have. Drop a message and say what sort of cooker you're using. Is it a kettle grill, electric smoker, other kind of smoker? That gives you a better idea of what the better method to do. But you can check out my channel for any of the rib videos. Just search for ribs on my channel. You'll come up with a lot of things that'll give you rib ideas. Same thing for tri-tip. I've done tri-tip many ways. The video I did yesterday on my tri-tip is my favorite way to do tri-tip now. So check it out. Let's see. Wells Family Homestead. Can't grill sideways rain. Yeah, that's tough. I've grilled in the rain. Not sideways rain, but I've grilled in the rain here in California. Raspberry Rock Off-Grid Cabin. Lol, you've got ribs on the barbecue too. You're in the 2 phase of 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Are you doing it on the kettle? I mean, I'm assuming you're doing it on the kettle. Marsha, woo, another Kalamazoo person. Yeah, couple. That's right. Got 2 or 3 people from Michigan that I've seen in the chat. Terry Hatcher, hey, Rye, first time here. Use the Oklahoma Joe's Bandera. Never use a kettle. Awesome. That'll work. Yeah, I just got the kettle last year because it had been a while since I had one. I grew up with one, and I just love using that thing. But I love my Oklahoma Joe. Got it. Smoky Ribs, hey Russ, how are you doing? Let's see. Thanks for the Instagram follow for Christopher. Yeah, if you guys haven't followed Russ on YouTube or Instagram or any of his social media, go there. Smoky Ribs Barbecue and Southern Cuisine. Awesome stuff he has on his channel and on his social media. Go there. Eric Moreno. What's up, Russ? Yeah, say hey to Russ, everybody. Let's see. What do we got going here? Ben Mixie. Sup, Rye? Liked the video on the wire grill brushes. Almost ate a wire a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? I was not someone who really considered that a serious thing. I kind of, dismissed it. In fact, I think someone warned me about it in a comment in a video last year, and I just said, yeah, I've never had that problem. And then someone in the city where I live ended up in the hospital and needed surgery. My friend Russell, Raspberry Rock Off-Grid Cabin, ended up with a wire bristle in his mouth recently. And it was enough. Over the last couple months, I changed out. Let's see. Where are we going here? Trying to catch up. Fire and water cooking. Tri-tip's hard to find in Florida. Yeah, it's interesting. In California, I've made this comment in some videos. It's like chicken. You can get it very easily. And I had no idea until I started doing YouTube videos and getting comments that tri-tip is something that's harder to get in different areas of the country. That's something I had no idea. And I don't 100% know why. The story I understand in California is that tri-tip was originally just a cut of meat that they would use for grinding up for burger until someone up on the Central Coast decided to try and, grill it. I think it was for a restaurant or something, and that's where that sort of Santa Maria tri-tip came from. It's a great cut of meat if you can get it. Let's see. Eric Moreno, hey, Russ, in case you didn't know, Russ sent me here, and I'm grateful he did. Yeah, Russ sent a lot of people here with a very generous shout-out on his channel the other day. And I love it because everybody who's come over, everybody's been participating in the comments. So it's great. I love it. Joe Garza, I want a pellet cooker also, but then I want a Lone Star Grill smoker. Yeah, if you guys watched Troy over on T. Roy Cook's channel, he just got a new Lone Star, gave his Yoder to his son. And that Lone Star Grill's nice looking, I got to say. I've always looked at the Yoders and the Langs when I was thinking of what to move up to, but I was looking at that Lone Star that he got, and that's pretty nice. That may have to get in the consideration. Let's see. Oren. Yeah, Oren says visit Russ's channel, Smoky Ribs Southern Barbecue. I mean, just awesome stuff. Let's see. Where are we at here? Casey, Piddle Cow. Is it Piddle Cow? Am I saying it right? Piddle Cow? I have a Dynago offset. Love the tri-tip vid. I think that's where we'll start. Just found you last week from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Well, thank you. Yeah. Tri-tip is a great thing to start with. You can do it on just about any cooker. Actually, you can do it on any cooker you want. Many ways to cook it. You can sear it. You can smoke it indirect. Give it a reverse sear. The video I did the other day is the way that I like to do it, where you indirect cook it to 110 internal, sear it, take it back indirect, and finish it to 130. And that gives me that perfect medium rare that I like. Fire and water cooking. I just got rid of my Weber and I'm getting a Camp Chef pellet grill. We'll still have the Kamado Joe and an Acorn Jr. Nice pellet grill. Someone else, I can't remember which channel, just got a Camp Chef pellet grill. Was that Russ? Was that you, or did you get the Camp Chef? I can't remember. There've been so many people with new pellet grills recently. Cooking with James. Hey, how are you doing, James? Good to see you here. Let's see. What do we got here? Smoky Ribs, Barbecue Southern Queen. Lone Star grills are awesome. Your favorite smokers. Yeah, that I got to say again, that grill that Troy got over at T. Roy Cooks looks really nice. Really nice. Where are we at here? Mike Montoya, Smokin' Mary's Rack Barbecue. Afternoon, everyone. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Good to see you. Again, if this is your first time here, drop a message in the chat saying where you're from. And also, if you haven't yet, give us a thumbs up on this live stream. Really helps, so YouTube sees that people enjoy this, so give it a thumbs up. Fire and Water Cooking. Greg at Ballistic Barbecue posted his new Lone Star Grill video today. He got a Lone Star too? Wow. Everybody's getting Lone Stars. Okay, so Russ, you got that Camp Chef. Nice. Yeah, that's what you did those awesome beef ribs on. Oh, man, those look good. Troy Z, you like a coffee rub on your tri-tip. Thinking of putting a coffee rub on a brisket. I did a coffee rub on, I think it was a pork butt a couple months ago. I think I did a video on that. I think it was a pork butt. Yeah, coffee rub. You know, I had never done that on anything before, but it was really, really good. A different sort of flavor profile. Actually, no, I had used coffee on something else. I think it was some ribs before, years ago. But on that pork butt, it was really good. Really worked well. Let's see. Smoky Rib Southern Barbecue. Greg's new Lone Star Grill pit is a beast. I'm going to have to, I didn't see his video yet today. I'm going to have to check it out. Yeah, Russ has got that Camp Chef. That was nice. I liked that comparison you did, Russ, on between the two Camp Chef. That was nice. That was really good. Mike Montoya, 29 Palms. You're east of me. Yeah, I've been out towards 29 Palms, going to Joshua Tree and camping and stuff like that. A little warm out there at times, though, huh? Just a little bit. Oh, yeah. I mean, what size did Greg get? I mean, I know there's a couple different Lone Star grill sizes. I can't remember what Troy got. Did he get the 30 or 36 inch? I know there's a bigger one too. I don't know what size I would end up getting when it's time to get one. Carolina Country Cooking. Got to run, Rye. Got to go feed the hog and goats and have a great day. Thank you for stopping by. Have a great day. Sure appreciate you coming in here. Yeah. Now, for those of you, did everyone see my tri-tip video yesterday? Where had a little bit of fun in the middle there during the taste. I hope you enjoyed that. Every once in a while, I like just doing something a little crazy and having a good time. So, you know, you got to have fun when you're doing this. Let's see. Raspberry Rock, another super chat. Thank you. You're saving money for an Oklahoma Joe's, so have $5. I'm winning this race, by the way. If you're not in on the joke, Russ and I trade super chats back and forth between your channels. I didn't get you the other night, so I'm going to have to get you with a super chat on your next live stream. Yeah. Are you going to haul an Oklahoma Joe's in there on the ATV and the trailer and put it together? That'll be interesting. Oren, I found grill pins and bought them. Folks are injured with the wire and even toothpicks. So are you saying they're injured from the grill pins or from something else? I mean, I think I've seen someone use the grill pins before. I didn't know there was an issue with them. Smoky Ribs, vertical offset smoker, 24-inch. Nice. Nice. Oh, man. I got to go check his video out. Wells Family Home said, what would be the best meat to use for picky eaters if you're smoking? Tri-tip. If you can get tri-tip, I would say that. It doesn't take a long time to cook. It's kind of like a big, nice steak. But by smoking it, you really allow it to become tender rather than just quick grilling it. It's still pretty tender when you direct grill it, but giving it a little extra time, you know, that hour to hour and a half smoke with some reverse sear on it gives you a really, really good flavor. And again, on the smoking, you can use whatever sort of wood you want. If you want something mild, I'd go with pecan. I kind of prefer hickory on my tri-tip. I just like that flavor profile. Pecan is very mild. You could do some cherry, a little bit of cherry, not too much. But yeah, tri-tip, if you can get it, is a great thing for people to smoke who are a little bit picky because it's a big steak. Let's see. Stephanie Belland, I was in love with my Vision Grill ceramic Kamado and my WSM 18, then falls in love with my Broil King offset. It was truly love until January when I met my Weber Summit Charcoal Center. That Weber Summit Charcoal is a nice grill. You know, that's sort of one of those ones where I think, is it worth it? Should I spend the money on that? But that's a nice grill. Nice looking grill. Cooking with James. What was the inspiration for your love affair with your tri-tip in last video? I love tri-tip. If you've watched my channel for any time, I've done many tri-tip videos. I've always professed my love for tri-tip and how simple it is to cook, but what great results you get. And, you know, just decided to have some fun with something. I throw stuff like that in every once in a while. I think I did something on a rib video where I did like a little opening that was sort of an homage to the Shining, you know, the Stephen King book. So check that out. I'm not sure which video it was. It was one of my rib videos. Yeah. Or not the grill pins, right? Oh, okay. Yeah. Because I've seen people use grill pins, but I've never heard any problem with them. Yeah. You're very welcome, Wells Family Homestead. Very welcome. Fire and water cooking, the Summit is awesome. Yeah. That's a really nice charcoal setup. I mean, I love my Weber kettle. It works fine and everything, but you do look at other things sometimes and go, oh, that would be so nice. Chad Morgan. Hey, Chad, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Nismo6113. Hey, Ryan, new to smoking. Just got myself a Weber kettle. In terms of adjusting the temp of the kettle, should the top vent stay open and do my adjustments on the bottom vent? That's the preferable way to do it. The bottom vent can be a little tricky because if it's like mine, there's not a lot of play in, or there's not a lot of difference between right here and right here. You know, this is fully closed and this is fully open. So I did a video a couple weeks ago on making some marks on there. You might want to check that out just to see about where it's sort of 1/3 open, 2/3 open, fully open is. If you can adjust the temperature that way, that's good. The biggest thing about the Weber kettle for temperature adjustment is not having too much charcoal going in it, and depending on how you're using it. Are you using it in baskets to hold that charcoal offset so that you're using it indirect, or something like the Vortex? If you overload it, that's a contained cooker with that dome lid. That heat's going to stay in there, so you can race that temperature up by having too much charcoal going. It's better to start with less charcoal and add charcoal than to start with too much. But yes, bottom vent if you can get it to dial in with that. But if you need to use the top vent, go ahead. The only thing I've found with the top vent is if you choke it down too much, you do tend to really bring that fire down, those coals down. So balancing act, just practice with it. Let's see. Fire and water cooking. If I see another slow and sear video, I'll scream. Well, hey, look, I don't own a slow and sear. People love that slow and sear, and it gets great results. You know, you can't argue with it. You know, but again, how many videos have I done where I give my Vortex a shout out? I love that Vortex. Just simple piece of equipment, sheet metal. You know, if I was a sheet metal worker and had some welding skills, I could probably make it myself, but I'm not, and I don't. So purchasing that for me was an easy thing, and it works great. I used it in the video that's going out today. I'll be using it in the video that goes out tomorrow. It's just a really nice piece of equipment. Brick Graham, how you doing? I have some ribs on my extra large big green egg as we speak. Nice. Nice. That's a ceramic cookers are nice. I've never used one. I know people that have them. I've been tempted. I'm probably going to have to break down and get one at some point. Or in 47 watching, only 24 likes. Get busy with the likes. He's my hype man. I got hype people here. Thank you, Oren. I appreciate that. Yeah, give it a thumbs up if you're here and you're enjoying it. You know, it always helps. Joe Garza, I couldn't stop laughing when that tri-tip video was in the car with the fries. Yeah, again, it's fun. I mean, come on. There were a couple other little scenes I was going to try to film, but just didn't have the time, so I ended up with just those 4 little vignettes to insert in there. It was fun. Chad Morgan, doing well. We're roasting half a hog here today. Man, I want to do a hog. I want to do a suckling pig, just a small hog. I've got to do that soon. Man. Let's see. Cooking with Webby. I've got 2 head peeps, so take care all. You've got a head peeps. All right. Get out of there. Have a good day, Webby. Thanks for stopping by. Jens Helderveert. I hope I'm saying that right. I recently got an Oklahoma Joe. Living in Belgium, I would like to smoke on it, of course, but in Europe, barbecuing is more like grilling. Is it okay to put charcoal in the cooking chamber for grilling? Absolutely. It has the grates for it. It has the lower charcoal grates and the higher cooking grates, obviously. If you're going to use it for smoking, though, eventually you're going to want to make sure that you clean that charcoal out of there good, because if you end up with any leftover unburnt charcoal and you have a fire in the firebox, that fire can actually spread to the cooking chamber. So I don't use mine for direct grilling because I have another cooker to use for direct grilling, but people use the Oklahoma Joes all the time for charcoal grilling in that cooking chamber. Yeah, you can do that, no problem. Just make sure you clean out any of the charcoal after you smother it. Let's see, where are we at here? Catching up. Raspberry Rock. Thumbs up, everyone. Every time Rye gets a thumbs up, he sends me another rib. Yeah, I'm working on drone delivery of my ribs to Ontario, Canada. So you'll be getting them soon, Russ. Troy Z, I'm looking at the M1 grill smoker made in Texas. There's not a lot of videos on them. I'm not familiar with that. Is it M1? I mean, it's a lot of people that make smokers. I'm trying to remember. There's a guy on YouTube. He's a welder and a metal worker. I think his channel is something like Allen's Metalworking and Welding or something like that. And he builds custom smokers, barbecues, things like that for people. And his stuff is some pretty awesome looking stuff. There's a couple places near me. One is, I think it's in Pasadena, California, called Redbeard Smokers. And there's another one in LA called Fat Stack Smokers that do custom work. And I'm sure there's others too. It's getting more popular, but I'm not familiar with the M1, so I'd have to look at that. Yeah. Deirdre, I think the wife is getting jealous of your tri-tip obsession. She was the camera person in that, so she can't be jealous. She knew what was going on. There was nothing inappropriate between me and that tri-tip. Just want to make that clear. Nismo613. Thanks, Rye. I'll keep practicing. Loved the Don't Do This to Ribs video, by the way. Laughed out loud a few times. Good stuff. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, again, I like to have some fun every once in a while. The thing about that was, it was really, truly a representation of what ribs were when I was growing up. That's the way my family cooked ribs. You charred it until it was just black. And when you bit into it, it was crunchy, and little pieces of that black char, you know, came off on your teeth. And now these days I look back and I go, why would you cook that way? But I have such fond memories of it. I loved those ribs. You know, when you're a kid and you think something's is the best in the world, and then you get older and you try something else and you realize, oh, this is really the way you're supposed to make it. But I have great memories of that. Awesome memories. Let's see. Smoky ribs. I just Googled the M1. Looks like quality product. Thank you, Russ, for checking that out. There's just so many custom makers of smokers and grills now. It's amazing. There's a place, I don't know if any of you have seen it. You probably have, because I know several channels have used their product. I think it's called the Burn Shop. They make custom grills. Really gorgeous work. If Phil and Florence over in his channel, he has one. Just beautiful. I'm not sure, Russ, I don't know if I've seen it on your channel, if you have one of those Burn Shop grills, but boy, just beautiful work. Eric Moreno, yep, Allen's Welding and Woodworking. I will order a smoker from him hopefully soon. Great welder and craftsman. Yeah, he's done some really awesome, huge smokers. And the time he puts into them, and he shows, like, you know, his backyard welding area and shop and just what he does. Really good stuff. Let's see. Chad Morgan, I'm going to try and find some tri-tips this week. I assume it's bottom sirloin. I've never heard of tri-tips here at the supermarket or butcher before. I believe it is also called bottom sirloin in places. I'm not 100% sure, but it's from the sirloin area. And we just, you know, have always known it as tri-tip because it's just so common here. Or, and barbecue sauce makes bad meat, cooks taste better. I am not opposed to barbecue sauce. You know what? I am not opposed to barbecue sauce. I've used it on things many times. I like good sauce. In fact, I have a video that's coming out next week on how to spice up store-made barbecue sauce. I know some people don't like using any sauce. If something wants sauce or needs sauce, I'll use sauce on it. The sauce can taste good. And you're right, it does kind of cover up mistakes at times too. Raspberry Rock, my parents would always boil ribs and finish them on the grill. Now when I think of all the flavor that got washed away, you know, 20 years ago, I did ribs like that too. Sometimes you do things that are what you know at the time until you know better. You're right, but all that flavor that got just lost in the boiling of them. The technique there is called parboiling, where you boil them to a certain amount, throw a bunch of sauce on them, throw them on the grill. You get sort of that barbecue flavor on them, but yeah, you do lose a lot of flavor too. Marcia, that's what everything my dad cooked on the grill was like. I made smoked chicken and baked beans with leftover rib meat for my parents to educate them last night. Yeah, I did that baked bean and rib meat. Oh, adding that rib meat into those baked beans is awesome. Just, you know, it ends up being pork and beans, you know, just like you get from a can, but I think better. Chad Morgan, we made a pig roaster yesterday from a 250-gallon oil drum. Nice. Nice. It sounds like you got a little bit of craftsman in you that you know how to do some of this stuff. I'd love to learn some welding, you know, just to have another little skill set that I could play around with. Andre Patterson. Hey, Andre, how you doing? Shirley Smokers up here in the Tuscaloosa, Alabama put out pretty good products. Nice. There's just, like I said, there's really good craftsmen all around who are building smokers and stuff. You do have to check them out and get references and make sure that it really is good product. But like you're hearing here, there are people that know a lot of craftsmen out there. Wells Family Homestead. What do you think of those combo grills, gas and charcoal? I don't think there's anything wrong with them at all. I mean, not everybody's going to have like the perfect setup of I have my offset and I have my gas grill and I have my kettle grill. Sometimes you may only have space, money, whatever it is for one thing. And if you look, I think Kent Rollins over on, Cowboy Kent Rollins channel, he has a combo grill that he uses, a charcoal and gas grill. No problem with that. And he's no slouch as a cook. So I don't have any problem with those at all. Let's see. Air commander, that sounds ridiculous. Russ, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Again, thanks so much for your very generous shout out this week. Just an amazing guy. And if you guys have not gone to Smoky Ribs Barbecue Southern Cuisines channel, go there, sub. You will not be disappointed in the stuff he does. You will not. Brett Campbell, new subscriber, cooking pork butt burn ends like your video. Great. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Brett. Just give them time. That's really all they take. They just take some time to really develop that tenderness. And if you want to get a little bit more of a grill on them at the end, you could put them back directly sort of in a grill basket. Totally up to you. Let's see. Chad Morgan, it's a pretty easy project. You could bolt it all together rather than weld. Oh, yeah, I mean, I just wish I had more. I'd love to learn to weld. It's just one of those skills. I know I'd never be a major craftsman with it, but there's been times where I've wanted to tack things together because they, came apart. And I thought if I just, had a decent welder, doesn't have to be super expensive, and learn something, maybe someday. Chad, you're a welder by trade? Yeah, that's awesome. I have a friend who's a welder too. And this guy, yeah, he built his own barbecue, built his own stand for it, all those things. It was awesome looking. Lincoln Barnes, hey Ryan, I have my pork butt cubed up and back in the smoker. Can't wait to try those burnt ends. Awesome. Yeah, they turned out nice. I mean, I know, traditionally, some people called me on it in some comments saying, no, burnt ends are brisket. Okay, yeah, they're technically burnt ends have always been sort of referred to as brisket, but people have been doing burnt ends, pork belly. I did those also, pork butt burnt ends. It's really just more about the method and sort of that end result of what you're getting that piece of meat to be. Burnt ends started with brisket, but it can really be anything. So yeah, if you're doing pork butt, you're gonna have some good food there. Ryan Holyoke, how you doing? If I don't fill up the water pan all the way on my electric, do you think I could get more intense flavoring without losing moisture? It depends on what you're cooking in there. Is the piece and how long it's going. Generally, it's good to have at least half of that water pan filled. Now, I don't know which electric you have. Like my charbroil has like a little sort of, this deep pan, and I will fill that up mostly halfway sometimes. Sometimes if I need a lot of moisture, it's going to be longer, I'll fill it all the way. I rarely end up adding to it. Moisture is good when you're going for a longer smoke. It's not about intense heat in there. That water is not really going to keep the heat down. If you're looking for it with in more intense flavoring, remember, smoke likes moisture. Smoke, those particles adhere to things which are moist. So if your meat is moist, it's going to have more of that smoke flavor. It's going to help it penetrate. Think about it. It's just like if something is dry, stuff will just brush off of it. If something is moist things stick to it. So smoke loves moisture. So I would be afraid of getting something too dry if you don't have any in there. But there are times when you want something dry and you don't put moisture in there. Like when I'm doing jerky, I generally don't put any water in that water pan because you're trying to dry things out. Let's see. Where are you at here? Your wrench disappeared, Russell. I still see your wrench, Russell. I still see your Raspberry Rock. Marcia, there tend to be artistic welders that will offer classes, woodworkers and stuff too. It helps supplement some of their costs in between projects. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. If I could find someone local who actually teaches it, that would be kind of fun to do and actually learn from someone rather than, YouTube videos. Although I've learned so much from YouTube videos. I just do. I love YouTube for that. I've fixed so many things around the house and cars and things just by watching a video. Yeah. You used to have a joke. We used to have a Volvo XC90, which every time you took it into the dealer was not only what you had to have it fixed for, but there was usually a $500 software upgrade fee. So the part could be $5 and you'd have a $500 software upgrade fee. So a friend of mine from Minnesota said, yeah, you didn't realize that every time you get your Volvo serviced, they fly in Sven from Sweden. Because it was always expensive to fix until I saw some YouTube videos and I was able to fix some things. Saved on one time like $1,000. So that was awesome. Let's see here. RJ420Q. Q. It's a good letter. I like that. Michael Scheifler, how you doing? Rye, what do you recommend, water only or mixture of apple juice and water? What's your preferred way in your water pan? I've used a mix before. I've come to believe it's not really that different than just water. I prefer to use a mixture if I'm spritzing something, you know, an apple juice, or one of my favorite mixtures to spritz with is some apple juice and some apple cider vinegar. That's a nice mix, a little bit of tang in there. But in the water pan, I just haven't found that adding something to plain water adds much. Now, I have done that when I'm doing beer can chicken in an attachment where you put some liquid and herbs in there. And I know there's a lot of disagreement about people saying that doesn't do anything. I've found it does help keep the chicken moist, especially deeper in the meat. And I think you do get a little bit of flavor if you're putting something in there like an apple juice. But in a smoker, I don't know that I've noticed it actually matter much. Let's see. Raspberry Rock Rye, what was the video mix-up that happened this morning? Yeah, so the video mix-up, normally I have a video out by 9 o'clock on Saturdays. It'll be out this afternoon. Last night when I was just about done, the premiere crashed. Now, I'm one of those people that save everything all the time as I'm working. Save, 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 save. Control S, Control S, Control S. For whatever reason, I lost about 30 minutes of work, which for me was about 7 minutes of video time. Doesn't seem like a lot, but that meant that last night, you know, like at 11:30, I had to sort of go, am I going to do this now? So I just decided to get up this morning and rework it. So yeah, that was the problem I had, Russell. The computer messed me up. J1978 Watt, got 2 big racks of baby backs on my Oklahoma Joe's smoker. Yeah, baby backs on the Oklahoma Joe's are awesome. What sort of wood are you using? What flavor are you going for today? Let's see. Wells Family Home said, have you been to a restaurant that seems to have stolen one of your recipes? No, I mean, I've stolen restaurant recipes. I go in and if I see something I like, it's like, hey man, I'm going to try that at home. My wife, one of our favorite places years and years ago, you would go to like certain Mexican restaurants and they would make, you know, that sweet corn cake thing. So we found some recipes, we experimented around and found the way to make it. Some different dressings, you know, things like that. Hey, if a restaurant wanted to take one of my recipes and make stuff with it, go for it. You know, the interesting thing about recipes is you can't copyright recipes. I mean, I know this because I'm a writer, and that's a very interesting thing because the courts have ruled that recipes are just lists. Now, you can copyright a book of recipes, but if someone wants to make the same recipe and put it in their own cookbook, there's nothing that can be done about that because, like I said, courts have ruled recipes are lists, and lists generally cannot be copyrighted. So, hey, if a restaurant wants to take my, you know, island rib recipe and make it, go for it. Where are we at here? Let's see. Christie's Cooking Channel. I'm late. What's your favorite meat to smoke? Tri-tip. I think I've said that so many times. It just is. I love it. It's so good. And easy. I mean, brisket's fun. I like brisket, but brisket is a lot of time investment and a lot of, at times, money investment. Tri-tip, you know, you get it for a reasonable price. You do it in a reasonable amount of time, and you get just an amazing result. Brian Vstrom, on the Charbroil electric smoker, how do you find the actual chamber temp compared to the control setting? I use a ThermoPro digital thermometer that has a probe in there. I don't use the included readout. You can set the temperature with that, but I've found you really have to sort of dial it in. Let me grab this real quick here. This is the remote for the Charbroil electric, and what I find myself doing is, you know, I will have the ThermoPro sitting right next to this right here when I'm smoking, and I will see the temperature readout on here that it says the temperature is, and I will see on my ThermoPro what it actually is, so I can dial this down remotely and get this where I want it to be. So that's what I do. I don't rely on the internal temperature probe from the Charbroil. I use an external ThermoPro to let me dial it in and know exactly what it is, because I calibrate my thermometers to make sure that they're, you know, within a degree or two of what they should be. Doug Cox, hi, Rye, chilling in Fullerton. How you doing, Doug? Good to see you here. Didn't get in trouble with the wife for watching that little section of my video yesterday. Brent Benson, how you doing? Pork convener. Ever considered doing something in a plow disc? You know, I didn't even know what a plow disc for cooking was until recently, and then I saw someone use it, and it's an interesting thing. You know, I actually have a little portable fire pit in the backyard that I think the plow disc would fit directly on, and that would be an interesting thing to try. If I can find, you know, a good source for a plow disc, I might actually try that, because some of the things people have done on there look really good. In fact, I've seen some people in India use plow discs to cook some really amazing dishes. I mean, I think they look like plow dishes that they're using. So yeah, no, that would be fun to do. Louis Calamatis. Hi, Rye. Lou from New Jersey here. Sorry I'm late. That's all right. You know, come when you want. I'm still going to be here for a little bit. Probably, let's see, we've been going for about, what are we at? About 45 minutes. We'll go for another 15, 20 minutes, see how things are going here. But yeah, New Jersey, good to see you. Oren, I've added whole onions in a smoker water pan, folks, some other stuff in the water. Yeah, I've seen people add herbs, things like that. I think if you get something from it, that's fine, that you get something. Not everybody's palate and nose, you know, can pick up things. I don't have any palate for, how would you put this, alcoholic drinks. All I taste is alcohol. So generally I don't drink, because if you give me a great glass of wine or a great, you know, glass of bourbon, I'm going to drink it and it's going to taste like alcohol. So I don't get a lot of enjoyment from drinking alcohol. Not that I haven't in the past enjoyed myself drinking alcohol. But same thing goes with different flavors, especially in smoke. Some people don't get it. Some people think it's too intense. That's why it's so personal. Yeah. Where are we at here? You're using hickory, Jane 1978 watt. Yeah, I love using hickory. I think you said you're doing the ribs. I love using hickory with ribs. That's my preferred wood for ribs. Troy Z, have you used any of the Big Papa rubs? Isn't he from LA area? I've heard of the Big Papa rubs. I've never used them. I don't know if he's from the LA area. I generally make my own rubs. I do use some commercial rubs, and I'm not opposed to them. It's just kind of like when I go out to grab something, if I see something interesting, I will. I just tend to like making my own to see what I want for that flavor profile. Now, I've used recently Famous Dave's rub, which is really good. I know it's a commercial rub based upon restaurant stuff, but I like it. It works. I've used that Trader Joe's South African smoked seasoned blend, just awesome. And those are really good rubs, but I'm not opposed to trying any rubs. So yeah, I've heard of the Big Papa rubs. Let's see. Raspberry Rock. Rye, I pulled a chunk of lump charcoal out of the bag that's bigger than both my fists put together. Am I just unlucky at barbecuing? No. If it's lump charcoal, you're going to get big lumps. I mean, I'm assuming you're talking about lump hardwood charcoal. I've had, you know, big lumps come out of a bag like this and little tiny ones. They break up when they're in there. You're probably also going to get a lot of dust at the bottom of that bag. So that you got to be kind of careful of if you're dumping charcoal into an already lit thing and that dust hits it. That dust can flash, so be careful. Louis Calamatis, I wish we got tri-tip here on the East Coast. Again, yeah, I'm so amazed that, you know, before I started on YouTube and getting comments, I had no idea that it was so hard to get the rest of the country. Someone, one of my viewers from, I think it's Vermont, William Logan, I don't think he's in here right now. He said that he was looking for a tri-tip and his butcher said he could get it for him for $16 a pound. That's insane. I mean, for USDA prime tri-tips here at Costco, I paid $7.99 a pound for massive tri-tips. I'm talking like 6-7 pound tri-tips, which are big tri-tips. So $16.99 a pound. That's a wow. Christie's Cooking Channel, can't find tri-tip here in Georgia. That's what I keep hearing from people. Yeah, there's something wrong with that. I mean, the cows are there too. I mean, what are they doing with the tri-tip? And like I said, in California, before tri-tip became a thing, my understanding was they used just that part to grind up for hamburgers. So I think it's a shame if they're still doing that in other areas rather than using that cut to sell it. I'd really like to understand what the reasoning is. Yeah. Doug Cox, what crazy 60s director are you channeling when you hit us with that interesting dream sequence? I don't know that there's any director I was channeling, Doug. I was just being wacky. But I love tri-tip. Yeah. Steve Russell, only located one store, Trader Joe's, that sells tri-tip here in Central Florida, $8.99 a pound. Yeah. You know, what's funny is the Trader Joe's here near us sells it for the same price. So different stores will sell tri-tip for different prices here. Our local Stater Brothers, which is a market chain out here, usually has the best price. Our Ralph's here, which is a Kroger's, that's where I got that $2.99 a pound the other day. And it's usually between $3.99 to $5.99 a pound for the store bought. If you're going for a prime or something like that, like from Costco or the butcher, you're going to pay more. But Costco here near us, which is sort of a big box membership store, I don't know if it's everywhere in the country, they have really good meat. That's where I get my briskets. Briskets there, USDA prime briskets at Costco for full packers are usually $2.99 or $3.99 a pound. That's crazy good price. Yeah. Let's see. Corzon Maserati. Hi from London, Rye. Always watch your channel, bro. Always great advice. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's nice to hear from people like, in different parts of the world too. Yeah, London. I heard someone earlier, I don't know if it was in chat or in a message on a video, they were talking about how difficult it is in the UK to get certain types of wood. They were having trouble getting hickory, which I guess it makes sense. I can't imagine there's a lot of hickory trees growing in the UK. We get such an abundance of different woods here. And where I live, actually, my wood supplier, they bring it in by truckload. I mean, when I'm down there, there's trucks in there just offloading, tons and tons of mesquite and hickory from places. I don't know where they get it. And like that olive wood I tried recently and used, which I'm going to be using again, I don't know where they get that, but that's great wood. Steve Russell, buddy at work used a plow disc for cooking oysters in the shell. I'm going to have to look at that plow disc and see, because I actually think it would fit right on top of my little mobile fire pit and back. And it's got, air holes in the side, so I think I could get a good fire going in there. Let's see. Where are we at here? Lewis, have you ever cooked on a Kamado style cooker? I have a Kamado Joe and I'm just curious. I haven't cooked on a Kamado Joe, a ceramic cooker like that. I've looked at them. There's a couple, as I've said, a couple other things I want to get before getting a ceramic type cooker. But it's on the list of things. It's probably third or fourth on the list of things I want to add to my collection. And part of the thing with my collection of things is I have a limited amount of real estate in the backyard that I don't want to spread out from, just to keep the family happy. So probably that's third or fourth in line of things to get. But I've seen people get amazing results on the Kamado Joe and the big green eggs and things like that. Yeah, I've never used them. Wells Family Home said, can you do a video on rubs and how they work on meats? Yes, I actually have that planned, and I actually have a sauce video coming out this week on how to spice up a store brand sauce. And we do a lot of that. We will take a base sauce that's just, I've done them from scratch too. But if you've just got like say a Kraft or a Sweet Baby Ray's plain barbecue sauce, there's many ways you can do things to change the flavor profile of that. My wife's really good at that. So yeah, we've got a video planned on changing flavor profiles of sauces. Like I said, I also have one for the rubs and rubs that I use. I did one a while back on my Sweet Heat rub. So if you search for that on the channel, there is a video on my Sweet Heat rub. But there's about 3 or 4 other rubs I want to show in this upcoming video. So yes, that will be there. Fire and water cooking. It's just not a popular cut there. Yeah, it's interesting that that's not popular because it's so good. I wish that butchers everywhere would be able to carry it. Zoltan K. Hello, how are you doing? Mark Sadler. Let's see. What are those? Are those ribs? Or bones? What are those? I'm trying to see. Where are we at? Fire and water cooking. It's hard to get picana also. It's interesting. Yeah, we can get picana here. It's a little bit harder to get than tri-tip. Or no, actually, it's harder to get than tri-tip. Tri-tip is like chicken here. But picana, you actually have to do a little searching for, but it's not outrageous. Fire and water cooking. Cooking a Costco chicken right now, about 5 pounds. Love Costco meat. Yeah, I was resistant to that for many years until really tried using their meat. And the briskets are amazing. The tri-tips are amazing. The pork butts are amazing. I've also had luck getting meat at, there's a store out here called Smart and Final, which is kind of used to be more of a wholesaler, but now it's more public, open to the public stuff. They have large pieces of meat there. In fact, I think Greg from Ballistic Barbecue did a beef shoulder clod that he said he got at Smart and Final down near him in San Diego. So yeah, they have some good stuff. Where are we at here? Raspberry Rock. Thumbs up, everyone. Every time you hit thumbs up, Rye sends me another picture of a burger. I'll do that. I'll send you a picture of a burger, Russ. I wish I could send you a burger. If I come up there, I will cook you a burger. We'll spend days like cooking on the Weber kettle. Bottle Cap Barbecue. Hey, Rye, dang it. Didn't see the notification. That's all right. You're here now. Bottle Cap Barbecue. Just finished editing my first real video. Awesome. Awesome. Where's when are you going to have it up? Let's I'm going to make sure I sub for your channel. I may actually already be subbed for your channel. I'll have to check and see and make sure. So yeah, if you guys are looking for someone new to help support, look at Bottle Cap Barbecue. Check him out. Louis Calamadas. Yeah, that's wild with the price of the tri-tip. I've never seen a full packer at Costco, only flats. I usually get all my meat at Restaurant Depot. They seem to have it, just no tri-tip. I've never looked at the meat at Restaurant Depot, although we do have some Restaurant Depots around us. Yeah, I've had no problem getting full packers at Costco. They also have the flats. You know what I wish people would sell, though, which honestly is really hard to find, are just the point cut. I understand why they don't, because it's such a choice piece of meat that when you leave it on the packer, it just brings a better price and a better size. But I wish people sold the point more. I rarely see just the point sitting there, because that would be awesome just to go on the own too. Yeah. Where are we at here? Marsha Probst. Is the first thing on the buy list a puppy? I know you have dogs, but who doesn't love puppies? I have 2 dogs, 2 rescues, and they're great dogs. No, first thing on my buy list is the 26-inch Weber kettle when it's time to get that. And then the next thing is probably the new offset. After that, it's either going to be ceramic or a pellet grill, because I'm really now very tempted for the pellet grill after watching everybody using pellet grills, and I know people that have them and love them, so I may have to just move to the pellet grill. Yeah. Let's see. Troy Z. I think Big Papa is from LA because he put on one of his best competition at LA, and in the US it's old school smoking, no electric cookers, and usually just on the top, only just the top teams are invited. Okay. I'll have to check out and see, because yeah, I've heard of his rubs and seasoning before. It's actually a very common name, so you see that mentioned a lot, his stuff. So people must be. It's just kind of like Cosmo stuff. You see him mentioned all the time too. Let's see. Raspberry Rock. Would you spend days here barbecuing? How much does this incredible experience cost? Wonder how many people would sign up for that. I'll come up to you at some point, Russ, and I'll just cook for you for days. You can videotape it. You know, I'll just hang out on the deck. Hopefully the railings will be there so I won't fall off. Let's see. Where are we at here? Marsha Probst. Your love affair with burgers makes me think of Bob from Bob's Burgers. Yeah, burgers are a close second to tri-tip. And if you can make a tri-tip burger, that's awesome. I think my grinding burger video was tri-tip that I ground from scratch, and makes great burger. Little less fat than something, so sometimes you have to add more seasoning, or you know, nice crust on the outside with some seasoning. It's really good. Yeah. Bottle Cap Barbecue, 58% upload. It takes so long. Yes, it does. If this is your first video, get used to time uploading. Yeah. Depending on how long it is, you know, a 30-minute video, if you're doing a long one, you know, can take an hour. You know, a 10-minute video usually for me takes, you know, 20 minutes. So it can take a while. Mark Sadler, thumbs up on the pellet grill. Yep. Mandy Speakman, good evening from the UK. My hubby Glenn is watching as always. He has too many outdoor cooking contraptions, most of which were inspired by you, and he just bought a cast iron pot. Awesome. Oh, I'm going to have to do an entire sort of video just on different cast iron and using it. I know I've used it in several videos, but cast iron is just such a great thing to cook with. And if you're really interested in cast iron, you should go over to Kent Rollins' channel, Cowboy Kent Rollins. He does a lot of stuff with cast iron, and he's really an expert on it. And I've learned a lot from watching his stuff. I remember my mom cooking with cast iron when I was a kid, and I just wish that I had all those old cast iron things that she had. And I also wish that I had the cast iron that she grew up with. She grew up on a farm in Minnesota in the 20s and 30s. And just to think of the stuff that her mother had using and cooking there, it would be amazing to have those old pieces, to be able to restore them and use them. Yeah. Cast iron, thumbs up. Let's see. Raspberry Rock. I've got a 35-minute video going up right now. That's about 4 hours for me. Yeah, because you're off grid. You're using a cellular connection, I think, aren't you? Yeah. Pardon me there. Doug Cox, using a 3-2-1 method you showed us on the tri-tip. KC style Dry rub, then 2-hour wrap, but smothered in Stubbs mop and sauce. Amazing. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, that 3-2-1 method. Are you saying you're using it on the tri-tip, or are you using it on ribs? You're talking about? You got stuff mixed up there. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I don't know that I've done a 3-2-1 on the tri-tip. Are you talking about my indirect sear, indirect again method? Not sure. Let me know. Oren, Kent Rollins beat Bobby Flay. Was he on that? I didn't see. I mean, I know he's been on a couple shows. He did a Chopped, I believe, on that TV show Chopped, but I didn't know he did a beat Bobby Flay. Let's see. Louis Calamadas. I've never seen the point cut sold along on just corned beef. Yeah, that's the only place I've seen a point cut that isn't, part of a packer. And that must be it, that it's such a prime cut for the corned beef. I'd like to do a corned beef from scratch someday. It's a lot of work, though. A lot of process. Just kind of like bacon. I'd like to do bacon someday. I'm a little impatient on some of that stuff, though. Let's see. Raspberry Rack. I'm going to have to jet shortly to deal with my ribs. Russell, thank you for coming by. Thank you for, being the wrench today. Appreciate it. And enjoy those ribs. Let me know how they come out. Message me later. Send some pictures. Send pictures on Facebook so I can show them on the next live stream. Yeah. David K. Cast Iron Rocks. I have an entire set of all-clad pots and pans. I only use the saucepans. I use cast iron for almost everything in the kitchen and outside. Yeah, I cook almost exclusively outside with cast iron because I like getting it really hot, and the amount of smoke you can generate, I like searing in it. The amount of smoke you can generate, at least in my kitchen, can overwhelm the vent hood. So, I like to do it outside. And I just like cooking outside too. I mean, I think in my audience, people watching the videos, I think they tend to like when I'm outside cooking. Just something about it. I enjoy it. Let's see. Wells Family Homestead. Love gnawing on pork neck bones. How will you grill them? I've never done pork neck bones, so I wouldn't know. But if you're talking about grilling them, I'm trying to think of the meat and what it would take. I would actually indirect those and try and smoke them for a while and see. Really, that's also going to be about tenderness. I've never done them, but if I'm imagining what that in comparison to, say, a shoulder cut on a pork would be, which I think might be similar unless they're closer to cheeks, which are very different. Neck bones, I would say you'd have to do some indirect and smoke before you grill to get some reverse sear on them. That's what I would try if I'd never done them before. Steve Russell, did my own corned beef, came out real good. Yeah, again, I'd love to do it. I know it's a process, though. It takes a while. Louis Calamadas, used to make pastrami. Yes, bacon too. I did a pastrami video. I did a pastrami video where you take corned beef and turn it into pastrami, because the pastrami process, from what I understand, really is sort of a continuation of a corned beef process. So you get a very similar flavor, and it turned out pretty good, actually. I wish that I had a slicer. That's another thing on my list to get, is a slicer, because doing things like pastrami and bacon and even pork belly and using the slicer for those, smoked turkey breast, that would be awesome. Let's see. Eric Moreno, hey, Rye, have you grilled fajitas? I have. I've grilled fajitas. I did a video where I grilled some flat meat and made carne asada steak sandwich, but one of the things we do when we do fajitas is we'll just take, the flat meat, shrimp, some chicken, things like that, grill it up and make fajitas. I haven't done a fajita video, so I probably should do a fajita video. I did that pork belly burnt end street taco video, but I haven't done a fajita video, so I probably should. And it's also because someone mentioned I haven't done shrimp yet except for shrimp fritters. So I probably should do like a grilled shrimp video. Maybe I could do the whole thing, a whole fajita video with, grilled shrimp, chicken, beef, things like that. That'd be awesome. Brian Vstrom, in our home, the smoke detector is lovingly referred to as the flavor detector. Yeah, when we moved into this house, there was a smoke detector 1 foot from 1 foot from where the kitchen ended and the family room began. That was the first thing I took down, because there was another one like 20 feet away in the family room where it went off to the rest of the house. It's like the thing would go off like when you were just like cooking up some bacon. So yeah, that thing like was gone. Yeah. Let's see. J1970 Watt, have you ever done beer butt chicken? Are you talking about beer can chicken? If you're talking about beer can chicken, I did do a video on beer can chicken. I think it was last year. If you search for, I think I called it spicy stand-up chicken, because I used that in the Weber kettle with the vortex surrounding it to create a radiant heat zone. and it turned out really good. I did enjoy that. Really nice. And I think I've done another one, another beer can chicken video too. I can't remember off the top of my head when it was. I should probably keep a list out here so I can tell you guys where those were. Yeah, Eric, I should do a fajita video. I think I will. Yeah, it's like that. So guys, I'm going to have to start wrapping this up. It's been, let's see, just over an hour. Great. These chats tend to run, you know, these live streams just about an hour or so, give everybody a chance, and it's I really enjoy it and stuff like that. So if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please hit the thumbs up button. Check out the video I did yesterday, which was my favorite tri-tip video. I will have a video out in a few hours this afternoon on making my Mediterranean kebabs. So check that out. Have another video out tomorrow morning, which I think is going to be a breakfast burger video. Yeah, yes, you can make breakfast burgers. So that'll be tomorrow. But let's see. Appreciate you guys. Let me see if there's any last minute questions. Got it. Thank you, Lewis. Yeah, check it out. I appreciate all the great comments you guys have left, and you know, everything in the videos. I just really, really appreciate it. And these live chats are fun, these live streams. So, you know, I'll put this live stream up as a video probably on Monday, so people who weren't here can watch it, and anyone here can go back and watch it if they want. But once again, I appreciate it. Thank you guys. You all have a great day, and I'll see you next weekend on another live stream. Take it easy.